the horrible things that can happen when an anti-colonial war continues. If you want to prevent in the future such actions, you need to go to the source of the violence. And the source of the violence is Zionism and the State of Israel, not the Palestinian resistance. The Palestinian resistance can be more humane, less humane, behave better, behave worse, but its resistance is very justified, since the other side wants to colonize it, destroy it. So what can they do? They have to defend themselves. Most of the Palestinians would have said to the world, if you really wanted to prevent us from using violence, why don't you support our campaign for boycott, divestment, and sanctions against Israel? This is a non-violent method that we ask you to support. If you will help us by sanctions to force Israel to end the occupation, the oppression, we will not need to use force, armed force. But if you don't leave us any option, we are not going to be sitting ducks and just die. So there's a way to make this situation much less violent, but it depends on the international community. Mainstream media could have done a lot by changing the language in which it talks, just by changing the words, by using words like genocide, by using words like anti-colonialism, apartheid, in the case of Israel and Palestine. It would have changed public opinion, there's no doubt about it. But it uses the dictionary that Israel wants it to use and doesn't dare to use alternative dictionary. Are they doing it because they want to manipulate opinion? I don't know. From my perspective, I think that in most cases, when I looked at it in a new book of mine that will come out very soon, the Western media is under a strong influence of the Israeli lobby. And this means that part of what they're doing is out of timidity. Part of what they're doing is out of being bribed. And part of the most important human feature of behavior is that you don't want to get into trouble with a strong lobby. So it doesn't matter what you think. You don't want to be condemned as an anti-Semite. So you're very careful. You're self-censoring yourself. So I'm not sure about manipulating so much public opinion as much as being obedient to a narrative that if you're not obedient to, you might find yourself being accused of being an anti-Semite. And people don't want to be in that position unless they're very brave, like the late John Pilger. But we don't have many courageous journalists in the mainstream media in the West, in the North, in the global North, unfortunately.